Hey loves, welcome back. Today we're doing another decluttering video and we're going to tackle the bronzers. I'm talking liquids, creams, powders. This also does include contours as well. And we're going to just go through everything. I'm going to show you what I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of. And this is going to be the start to my declutter series because then we're going to go through face palettes, blushes, all the things because I am on a mission to reorganize my beauty room and honestly just tidy it up a little bit, but we have to start decluttering first. So grab a snack because we're going to be here for a while. Get cozy and let's get into it and go through all things bronzer. So this is what we're going to start off with. I'm going to, of course, go right in order from the top to bottom, and we're going to go through each of the bronzers. This organizer is from Impressions Vanity, by the way. I will have it linked down below. First drawer, starting off strong with what I think is one of the best bronzers on the market, Juvia's Place Bronzer Duos, specifically the powdered bronzer, and this one is in the shade medium. I love this because you literally get two bronzers for the price of one. Great shades, great formula, the perfect amount of pigmentation where it's pigmented but still buildable and it doesn't look muddy when you apply it. It's very similar to a high-end formula like Fenty, but for such a great price. So this is a winner I'm gonna keep. Now the Juvia's Place Cream Bronzer is one of my least favorites because it's so glittery. It's just very muddy on the skin and I don't really love the finish of it. I think the color is okay, but the actual formula on the skin is just glitter. And it's not even glowy, it's literally straight up glitter. Even when you wipe it away, you're gonna have that glitter left over, and I'm just personally not a fan. It's just way too glittery. Next up, we have the Too Faced Melting Bronzer and Sculpting Stick in the shade Chocolate Souffle. I love how creamy this is. This melts into the skin. It might look a little bit glittery from that Juvia's Place bronzer, but this has no shimmer, no glitter to it. It's just a really beautiful natural finish bronzer. This color specifically, by the way, it smells like chocolate Tootsie Rolls, which I love, but this color, Chocolate Souffle, has a touch of warmth with a little bit of a cool tone in there. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. It's a beautiful formula, very easy to work with, and okay, wait, I just realized if you twist this thing all the way up, it won't go down. Okay, there it goes. You just gotta press it down. But yeah, it's a really great bronzer. Another amazing liquid bronzer, the Rare Beauty. Technically, this is called a liquid contour. Color Solace is the perfect shade. I love the packaging. I actually find this formula to be a lot more forgiving than the liquid blushes. Even if you do too much of this, you still get a beautiful blend. It's easy to work with. It's not gonna look muddy. I love the natural glow that this gives to the skin, and it really does a nice job at giving you that perfect chisel that's still very natural and sculpted. These are the Essence Contouring Duo Sticks. I'm honestly just not a fan of these. Concept is great. You literally get a duo in here, so you get a contour shade that you could use for contouring your nose, whatever. It does have good pigmentation when you first apply it, like on the back of your hand as a swatch, but then when you're actually blending it into the skin, it kind of just disappears into nothing. And I just feel like you can't really do a lot with these, with this kind of formula. If you want a contour duo, I'm gonna put you on to the goodies in just a little bit because we have some other favorites that I think are better as far as color, formula. So these I'm getting rid of. Next up, we have the Revolution Precise Contour and Highlight. This is meant for, I believe you could use it all over your face, but I think this is best for your nose because of how small the product is, and I'll show you. So this is a dual-ended product, which I love. The contour side, like I said, is very small, so I think it is perfect for your nose. It's a nice cool toned shade that doesn't pull too gray, and then the other side is a highlight, which you could use again for your nose, for your inner corner. Very nice product. At first I wasn't too crazy about it because it's like, it really for me is just a nose contour product because it is so small, but if you want to be more detailed with it and you're into nose contouring, it works. If you want something a little bit bigger and more versatile for your face and your nose, I would recommend something different, but I'm still going to keep this because overall I do think it is a nice concept. Essence Baby Got Bronze. This I do think is fantastic compared to their contour duos. This is a better bronzer. It's much more pigmented, and I love, like, these little mini sticks are so cute. This one is in the color Mocha Me Crazy. This one is very rich in tone, so I'm gonna get rid of this one, but I love this formula. Milani liquid contours are great. I love the shade Honey 01, and then I have this one in Toffee, which is a little bit of a more rich shade. Honey gives me a very natural bronzy look, and then Toffee is a little bit more enhanced. It's a deeper, darker shade, but I love this formula. It's so easy to work with. It's a really nice wash of color. I know it does say contour on here. I find this to kind of be a combination of both bronzer and contour because there is a little bit of warmth in these. They're not completely cool toned, but I love how they sculpt the cheeks. The packaging can be kind of messy just because that's how these little sponge applicators are. But if you don't mind, then, you know, it's a great product. The formula is great. So I love these. I'm going to keep both of these. Very similar to that one are the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wands. To me, they're basically like cousins. So they're not sisters, but they're in the same family and they're very similar. To me, the formula of the e.l.f. Halo Glow Wands are identical to the ones from Milani. I get the same effect. I think the shades are just a little bit different. For instance, this one is in medium tan, but I really like what this does to the cheeks and how it sculpts and bronzes them. It's a nice product. Love it. Keeping. Another contour one, if you're into a more cool tone shade, this LA Girl Contour Envy in the shade Beach Babe is a really nice color. The tone of this, like I said, it's a little bit more cool toned. I experimented with this a couple times. I want to keep it just to play around with it a little bit more because I love LA Girl. You can usually find them at Ulta or CVS, but this is a nice cool toned contour that isn't too gray, which I like. Then we have the Milani Sun-Kissed Liquid Bronzing Drops, light, medium, and dark. Don't be fooled. These are extremely pigmented, so I'm actually going to get rid of the medium and the dark shade and just keep the light. And I like to mix things like this in with my moisturizer or foundation because sometimes when you apply bronzing drops directly to your skin, they can look a little patchy. So to avoid that, just do a little mixing beforehand. But keeping this, getting rid of these. e.l.f. also has bronzing drops, which I do think that they do really well. I don't need all of these though. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep one and get rid of the others. I do think these are also very pretty. Again, mix these with your moisturizer. Otherwise, it is gonna look patchy because I have experimented with these and these definitely require you to mix them. So we have pure gold, copper gold, and rose gold. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep rose gold. The Say Super Glowy Gel, this one is in the shade Sun Glow. They do this really well. The bronziness, this is the one product where I actually feel like you can apply it directly to your skin if you don't want to mix, and it's beautiful. It is very warm, but I love the way it evens out your skin tone and just gives you that light bronzy touch. This does not look patchy on the skin. It's very thin. It's not a super thick product. It's not glittery. It really does enhance your skin and gives you that gorgeous summer glow. So if you want to splurge, I think this one is nice and splurge worthy because they just really do it right. Anastasia Beverly Hills came out with new contour shades. Packaging is really cute. I'm not going to keep all the shades. I think I'm actually just going to keep one color. So this is what its shadow looks like. This is actually my first time swatching it. Oh, that's pretty. I actually love that color. See how it's nice and rich, but with that cool tone in there, I feel like it doesn't pool too red on my skin. Now, of course, we're gonna see how that looks once we blend it, but that's a really good color. Again, it's in shadow. So we're gonna keep these, get rid of the rest. This is another product I wanted to shout out. It's the Rhode Pocket Blush, but this one is in Toasted Teddy. So it's a blush, but you could, with this color specifically, use it to kind of give you a blush and bronzer look. So that's why I wanted to mention it, because I think this formula is fantastic. And I don't like everything from Rhode, but this is one of my top favorite products that I do think is splurge worthy. I love how compact these are and just the fact that they click and they're just very cute and chubby. But this is the color Toasted Teddy. It's a very rich shade, but it actually looks gorgeous on the skin. It gives that almost sunburnt kind of vibe, but the way that these melt into your skin is divine. It's a gorgeous formula. Think skincare and makeup in one. And I do find this formula to also be long wearing, and you can apply it to your lips too. I love this color. This is very flattering too on a lot of different skin tones because I've seen it and it looks good. So this is a winner. Now that is much better. Next section. Of course, we can't do a bronzer video without talking about Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is top tier and I think one of the best bronzers at the drugstore. This one I have in the shade Deep. It's a beautiful warm bronzer. It does have some shimmer to it, so if you're into a glowy kind of product, you're gonna love this. But I feel like it's very fine, the shimmer, to the point where when you apply it, it still goes on very smooth and it warms up your skin in the most vacation-y, natural kind of way. And I love everything about it. So if you need a good warm shimmery bronzer that's still gonna look smooth and not glittery on the skin, I will forever recommend the Butter Bronzers. This palette shouldn't be in here. It belongs in my face palette drawer, but I'm gonna mention it since we're talking about Physicians Formula. This is the Bronzer Contour Palette. You get a bronzer shade down here, which is much more rich in tone and it's very warm. You get a contour shade right here in the corner, which is perfect for your nose or if you wanna sculpt a little bit more and, you know, give yourself a bit more of a chisel. And then we have this banana yellow color color, which I love for the under eyes or just to clean up your contour. One of my favorites we're gonna keep. I have two bronzers here from Haley's Beauty. I love this brand. I'm actually gonna get rid of one of these because I only need one. I don't need both. But this is the Resculpt Smoothing Contour Powder. I'm gonna keep the shade light and I'm gonna donate the shade medium. I love the shade light because it's the perfect contour powder. You can see it is more on the cool tone side. So if you have more fair skin or if you're lighter in tone and you want a powdered contour shade that isn't too gray, this one is perfect. I love to sculpt my nose with this. I love the formula of it. It truly is very smooth and you can see it does have that cool tone, but that's why I love it for the nose. So this is a forever favorite. I always go back to it. Then I have this Pacifica Bronzer Duo. I actually do like this. I remember using this quite a bit. It's the Sundreams Bronzer Duo. You get a highlighter and you get a bronzer in here as well. I don't really use it. I haven't reached for it in well over a year, so it's time to part ways. This is another product that I have not used in a while, the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer. I feel like I need to keep this and maybe use it a little bit more before officially getting rid of it because I love Flower Beauty. They have great products and this is a more warm toned bronzer, but it looks really light, which I like because sometimes I want to bronze my skin, but I don't want something that's going to be too much. I just want to give myself a little bit of color, and that is exactly what this looks like. Looks like it's going to give a light, warm wash of color because it does have an orangey undertone, but it's very natural and it does have a little bit of a glow. It feels very soft to the touch. So we're gonna go ahead and keep this. This is another underrated bronzer that I love, the LYS Beauty Bronzer. This one is the No Limits Matte Bronzer in the shade Motivate, which is the lightest color. This is another a little bit more of a olive toned kind of bronzer. I love it because it's not too orange, it's not too red. So I think if you have more of an olivey skin tone, you would love this. This is a gorgeous formula. I think LYS in general, like I know a lot of people talk about their cream bronzer, but they have so many other great products. But yeah, this is a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and keep. I have a Haus Labs bronzer here that I don't remember the last time I used. This one is in medium level 5. Let's do a little swatch. This one runs very orangey, which I don't know if I really want to keep, because I really don't reach for it that often, to be honest. But then I also have my Charlotte Tilbury huge bronzer over here. I do like this bronzer because it is very smooth, just like the powder. I'm kind of gearing more towards the Charlotte Tilbury one. It's more practical for me, like the shade of it versus Haus Labs, because I know I don't need both. And realistically, I don't even really reach for my Haus Labs bronzer all that often. I think I would much rather try a different shade in this. I don't really love the tone of this on my skin. That's probably why I don't reach for it that often. So let's get rid of Haus Labs. We're gonna keep Charlotte Tilbury because I do like this bronzer. And these are the ones we're gonna keep. Let's move on to the next. We have some more things in here. Let's get rid of this Milk Makeup bronzer stick. I actually love the matte bronzer from Milk. This is a great product. I like their complexion products a lot, but this is just really old. I know I need to get rid of it. Yeah, it has a very old smell. But let me just show you. This one is a rich, warm tone shade. It's in the color Baked, but on the skin, it's not too much. It's great. So if you ever do want to splurge, I think this is a nice product. Oh yeah, this is very expired. You know what it smells like? Crayons that have been sitting in your desk drawer, like when you're in elementary school, for way too long. LYS bronzer stick. This one is the No Limits in the shade Courage. Now, as much as I do love this bronzer, this is not my favorite product from LYS. I wish that some of the shades, I mean, they are very rich. This is one of the lighter colors and it is very rich, very intense. Although I do love it, I think for my skin tone, I need something a little bit lighter. So I think I'm actually gonna get rid of this because I honestly don't reach for it that often. I prefer the powder bronzer shade on my skin tone over this one. Then we have the Yummy Skin Glow Serum from Danessa Myricks. Just like with Say Beauty, Danessa Myricks does it right. And this is a product that you don't have to mix in with another product. You could just apply this directly onto your skin and it's gonna give you that bronzy, gorgeous glow. It's very thin. I think that's why I like this one just as much as the one from Say. It almost feels like a light gel. It's very, very lightweight. So this I'm gonna keep. It also has a very pleasant, light laundry smell. Like it just smells very clean. So I'm into it. We're keeping. Then we have the Fenty Beauty Match Stick. This one is in the shade Mocha 03. I do like this product. I don't know why I don't reach for it more often. This is a little bit warm, but it has a touch of cool in there. But I love Fenty complexion products, so this I am gonna keep. Now talk about an OG. Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. They don't even make this anymore, but this is a true OG. I feel like every single person back in what, like 2015, 2016 used to have this palette. Let me know if you guys did down below, but I used to love this. Realistically though, this also should not be in here because it's a little face palette, but I am gonna get rid of this because I don't reach for it. I haven't in years. Goodbye, ABH Contour Kit. I will never see you again. Then we have the Makeup by Mario Complexion Skin Enhancer. So this truly does what it says. It's kind of like a lighter version of a traditional cream bronzer, more lightweight, more natural and effortless when you apply it. It's gonna give you a light bronzy tint. I love how natural this product is, and this one is in the shade medium. I'm gonna keep. I have two powder bronzers here from the drugstore, which I am gonna keep. The one up top is from Revolution, the Super Bronzer Powder. It's a matte bronzer, very warm. And then we have the Revolution Baked Bronzer on the bottom. This one is in Long Weekend, which I am gonna keep. So we have some drugstore options and variety. We have the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. This is an OG kind of product. I have used these up so much. They're so pigmented. I love the touch of color they give to the skin. So I am gonna keep this because it's iconic and I love the way this looks on the skin. Now this product from e.l.f. I am gonna get rid of. It's just a traditional matte bronzer because I have so many. I know I don't need this one in Perpetually Tan. It's very warm, but since I kept that Makeup Revolution bronzer, I'm gonna keep that one instead of this one. So we're gonna get rid of this. So here's the lineup that we have. Some good variety of drugstore and high-end, just how I like it. Next section. I'm definitely getting rid of this Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer. It's the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer in the shade 1 Fair. I don't know why, but this looks so muddy on my skin. It's very thick too, which I don't like. It almost goes on like a paste on my skin, like it feels like clay. I don't mind the color. I think it's okay, but it's just the formula that is not personally my favorite. This, I feel like I should get rid of it, but I want to keep it because I love this color. It's the Marc Jacobs bronzer. This one is in Tantastic. It's the Omega bronzer, the Coconut Perfect Tan. Oh, I love the color of this. This is like one of my favorite bronzer shades on my skin tone. That's why I'm keeping, and I love the packaging. We have an Ilia bronzer. This I'm gonna get rid of just because I don't reach for it. This is the Drawn In Nightlight Bronzing Powder. I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually a really light, warm tone bronzer. I think this could work really nicely if you have a more fair or light skin tone and you want something that has a bit more of like an orangey tint, but that's not too orange. It's a nice color. I just, like I said, don't reach for it, so she has to go. This is the Makeup by Mario bronzer in the shade medium. I have a light medium in here somewhere, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one, or maybe I'll keep the other. Hold on, I think I see it right here. Let's see which one I wanna keep. I don't need both. Light medium and medium. I'm gonna stick with medium and we're gonna get rid of light medium. I have a fresh bronzer here from Fenty. This is one of my favorite powdered bronzers. It is the Sunstalker Instant Warmth Bronzer in the shade Shady Biz. Shady Biz is my perfect color from Fenty. I feel like it's warm, but it doesn't pull too dark on my skin. Like it's just literally the go-to everyday bronzy shade. I have another one in here somewhere. Where is it? It's right here, Shady Biz, yep. So we have a new one and we have an old one. Honestly, I don't need both. I just ripped off the putty bronzer and it took off some of this Tarte palette, which I am getting rid of. It's the Park Ave Princess Waterproof Face and Body Bronzer. It's a nice bronzer, but I just don't reach for it. I don't need it. I have a bunch of these e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzers. I actually do really like these. I wish the packaging was a little bit bigger though. That's my only complaint, because sometimes with certain brushes, it doesn't really fit seamlessly into this small little compact. However, it is a really nice formula. It's glowy, it's bronzy. They have quite a few different shades. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these three because I don't reach for them. I don't use them ever. And I'm gonna keep two shades that I know that work, that I love. We have the color Tan Lines and Honey Drip. I'm gonna get rid of the Wet n Wild Dual Ended Contour Stick because I do feel like there are better contours at the drugstore. For a contour, this is also very warm. It's orangey, honestly, on my skin, and I just don't like the way the color looks. So getting rid of this. The other side is a highlight, which is also okay, but I think that there's better options, and I'm going to show you a better option right now. I think the NYX Wonder Stick is way better. Now, one side does come with a highlighter. Mine, it broke, and I honestly don't even really use it, but the product is worth it for the contour side alone because the formula is just that good. This one is in the shade light medium and it is perfect. I love this for both the cheeks to give it a nice sculpt, but also for my nose. I use this very often. I always go back to it, and even after all this time that I've had it, I honestly feel like the product does last a while, but it's just a great color all around and a great formula. I have another color here. This one is in medium tan. It's much more rich though. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna keep this one. But let me show you a highlighter that isn't completely all messed up. That's what it looks like. It's pretty though. You could use the highlight to highlight your nose if you wanted to, your inner corners. You could put it as an eyeshadow, Cupid's bow, whatever you like. Another amazing cream bronzer stick is the one from ColourPop. If you like the one from Rare Beauty, this is a beautiful dupe that is honestly spot on. The shades might be a little bit different, but the formula is identical. This is one of my favorite products ever from ColourPop, and this one I have in the shade Moonstone Beach. It's very creamy, lots of pigment, great Rare Beauty dupe, but even if you like the Too Faced melting bronzer stick that I mentioned earlier, this one I think could be a nice alternative to that as well. So this is a 10 out of 10 product. It's one of my favorites ever from ColourPop. It's so good. And that is what we're keeping in this little section. More overflow of bronzers here. Let's get into it. Not too sure if Huda Beauty still makes this Tantour cream, but it's amazing. It's a contour and bronzer cream, and this one is in the shade Fair. I love this product. This is another thing that I think is honestly very underrated from Huda. I don't think she makes this anymore though, but I'm still gonna keep it because it's so good, and I love the color of this. It's a very, almost like a putty kind of formula, but I love the way this looks on the skin. And it's a great color, so we're keeping. I have another Fenty bronzer here. This one is in Private Island, which for my olive skin girlies and guys, this one is a nice olivey, orangey kind of toned bronzer. I like Shady Biz a little bit more. Let me just show you in comparison. I think on my skin tone, Shady Biz, it's just more flattering. I do use Private Island, but Shady Biz, something about it, it's just truly perfect on my skin. So I'm gonna get rid of Private Island and we're gonna keep Shady Biz. Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Sunset Strip Tease. This is a shimmery warm toned bronzer, kind of similar to Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but this color is a little bit lighter. That's pretty. I love how it gives some color with a really pretty bronzy sheen. This I'm gonna keep. I actually do love this bronzer from e.l.f. It is the, I believe it's called the Primer Infused Bronzer. This one is in, I got rid of the shade Perpetually Tan. This one is in Sunkissed. I like this color more because it is my perfect bronzer whenever I want to just throw a little bit of powder bronzer on. This one is ideal because the tone is perfect. It's a little bit lighter, but when you build it up, it does show up and warms up the skin very naturally. So this one I'm going to keep because I always go back to it from e.l.f. The NYX matte bronzer I love, but I don't love this color. It's in the shade medium. It's very red and orangey on my skin, so we're getting rid of her because I don't even reach for it that often, but it's a nice bronzer. I just don't like the color. Then we have another bronzer from Believe Beauty. This one I do like, and I love this brand. You can get them at Dollar General. I don't know if they're still a brand, but they're great. I have so many shimmery bronzers that I decided to keep instead. So this one I'm going to get rid of. It's in the shade Hawaiian Glow. It's a nice color. I love this brand. Everything is super affordable and good quality, but this one got to go. We have another gorgeous baked bronzer from Well People. I just swatched this here. It is kind of glittery. It's very orangey though. Don't love the way this looks on my skin tone. I don't mind an orangey bronzer, but certain ones, they just pull a little bit more warm than what I like. And you can kind of see a lot of that glitter in there, which personally, I don't really love. I prefer more of a sheen versus actual glitter bronzer. So this one I am gonna get rid of. It's a nice color though. It's the Super Powder Bronzer in Golden Hour. You can get this brand at Ulta, but she gotta go. New bronzer here from Oma Beauty. This is the Double Take Sculpting and Bronzing Powder in the shade Fair Lady. I got this, I believe, when I went to TJ or JCPenney. It's very light, but see, I like bronzers like this sometimes because then you can build them up and they're gonna give you a little bit of warmth without looking like too much. This looks like it's a little bit more of a light, more buildable kind of formula, which I prefer. And I love how it's lighter and it doesn't pull too orange on my skin, so we're gonna keep. I don't know why I don't use this more often because I love the CoverGirl True Blend line. This is the high pigment bronzer. Their blushes are amazing. I don't know why I haven't touched this. I definitely need to use this in my next drugstore video, but this one is in the color 420 Warmth. I am gonna go ahead and keep this because like I said, I love CoverGirl bronzer and blush formulas. Even though this one is more on the orangey side, I think I can still get with it because the formula of these is so great. So we're keeping. And then we have the Sun Chaser Blur and Sculpt Bronzing Powder from Thrive Cosmetics in the shade Raya. This is another one of my favorite, most perfect bronzer colors of life. Love this formula, and I actually need to use this again. This was a fresh one here. I definitely used up one of these bronzers before and it was so old. That's why I repurchased it, because I love the formula so much. It's brown and warm. It's like literally as if the sun kissed my skin. Love it. And this is what we have left. Cute. We are finally making our way towards the bottom. So let's go through these in here. I already see a few things that I want to get rid of. Starting off with this Revolution Concealer and Contour Palette. My thing is with products like this, I wish they were a little bit bigger. Like, it's hard to fit your brush into all of these individually. So I'm going to get rid of this because I also have not used it in a while. So there's a reason. This is the Milani Baked Bronzer, and as much as I do love it, it does pull pretty orange on my skin. As you can see, it is really pretty though. It has some sparkle to it, but it's a true warm-toned baked bronzer. Love this formula, but the color, like I said, is not my favorite on my skin tone, and that's probably why I don't reach for it that often. So love it, but don't love this shade. It's in Soleil 05, but if you're into a shimmery, warm-toned baked bronzer, this one is really nice. This product from Milani, however, I am in love with. This is the Suntan Silky Matte Bronzer, shade 03. This is another good Fenty dupe, if you will. The formula is very smooth. I like the tone of this too, as you can see. Like, it's a true kind of brown toned bronzer, and you can kind of see it compared to the baked bronzer, how it pulls on my skin. This gives like a true sun-kissed bronzy tone, whereas the baked bronzer is just very orangey, but the silky matte bronzer is everything. It's truly silky matte, underrated gem, and the formula is everything. So this I'm keeping. This is an Essence Contouring Duo palette, which personally I really only like this light shade to contour my nose. It's great for that. It gives a natural shadow. It's kind of similar to the Hailey's Beauty powder that I showed you guys earlier. Like, it has that kind of tone. Honestly, I really don't need both, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the Essence one because I don't use the light shade anyways in here. I only use the contour color of the times that I did use this product. However, if you have very fair skin, I think you would like this because it is a true cool toned, I mean, you can see that compared to the other shade on my finger. It's a true cool tone contour shade. It's not a bad product by any means. I just, like I said, I don't need it, and I have other contour shades that I prefer. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. We have another baked bronzer. This is the Sun Lover Glow Bronzing Powder from Catrice. This actually does look really pretty. Let me look at the tone of it. It looks like it has some sparkle to it, but I like the color of the bronzer. Let's do a swatch right here and see. Oh, okay. It's pretty warm. Let's do a better swatch. It feels nice and soft to the touch. So the color is warm, but it's not as orangey as, for instance, the Milani Baked Bronzer that I pulled. So I think I'm actually gonna keep this. Then I have this LA Girl Matte Bronzer. Look at how big this thing is. But the color is actually really nice. This is the swatch right here. It's super smooth. Like, the formula actually kind of reminds me of the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So we're gonna keep this because LA Girl does have a lot of gems, but sometimes they are limited edition. And this one is in Back to the Beach. This is very random, but we have this Beauty Benefits Bronzer. This is actually from the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna keep this for whenever I do my super affordable videos. Look at the pigment. I mean, from the Dollar Tree, are you kidding? That is gorgeous. So we are keeping. The brand again is Beauty Benefits Hollywood. We have another e.l.f. putty bronzer here. I actually love this color in Bronzed Belle. Out of all the shades that I have, this is the deepest one, but I love this color in the summertime. Again, don't love the packaging. I just wish it was slightly whiter, but it's still a really great formula. So I am gonna go ahead and keep this. Speaking of e.l.f., we have these Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contours. This is a liquid version. I love the color Light. This is a perfect shade for my skin tone. So if you're similar to me, the color Light is gonna be right. Truly perfection. Now this color I purchased and I don't like it. Light Medium. It kind of just has that like olivey orangey tone that is just not super flattering on my skin tone, as you can see, but it's not good on my skin. So we're getting rid of Light Medium and we're gonna keep the shade Light. We have this gorgeous Essence Illuminating Powder. Don't know why I haven't really dabbled into it because it's so pretty. I need to use more of my shimmery bronzers. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1. You mixed it, both the shades together, and it gives that bronzer highlighter situation. That's actually so pretty. It's very light though, but it's gonna give your cheeks a glow. This could even be almost like a bronzy blush topper in a way. If you wanna do a little bit more of like a bronzy champagne cheek. Realistically, as much as I do love it, I'm probably not going to use this because I have so many other baked bronzers, and to bronze all over my skin, I don't think it's going to be actually dark enough. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of it, but it is gorgeous. This is another one of my favorite glowy bronzers. It's from RMS Beauty. It's the Redimension Hydra Bronzer in the shade Tan Lines. The tone of this is a true brown color, which I really like, but the formula is buttery, it's smooth, the pigment is really nice. See, this is going to give you that glow, but I think this is going to do a much better job at warming up the skin versus that Essence bronzer I just showed you, because it has a bit more of that rich color payoff. So this I'm going to keep. I love this product, love RMS Beauty. This is an OG, you guys. You remember this old e.l.f. packaging? You might still be able to find it at certain drugstores. This is an OG e.l.f. product. We have a blush, we have a bronzer. I'm going to keep this because I love this formula. Like I said, if you can still find these OG e.l.f. products, they are fantastic. The pigment is also insane. This one is in the color Fiji. I used to use this actually back in high school, and it really does give such a nice wash of color that is buildable. You get a mirror. It's just very luxe. I love it. So Fiji, you're staying here. We have another OG here. This is the Balm Big Mama bronzer. I randomly found this at Ross, and I think this is such a good bronzer though. Like, it feels like silk actually, and I think the pigment is nice because it's not overly pigmented. Like, I do like a pigmented bronzer, but I actually prefer something that's a little bit more on the buildable side so that it doesn't look too orangey, you know, or too muddy or just not blended. But this one is really nice. I love the tone of it. It's like a touch of warmth, but it doesn't pull orange on my skin, so we're keeping. Then we have this Brighten and Bronze Complexion Trio from Olimar Cosmetics. I love this brand. This trio is actually really cute. You get a brightener for your under eyes and then 2 bronzer shades. Such great pigment, really nice formula, but I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this because I haven't used it. And that is what we're keeping. Much better. Next section, I see something that I definitely wanna get rid of, and that is this LA Girl Glow Envy Bouncy Bronzer. This is similar to the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. So when I have it on my skin, it almost just looks like it's sitting on top of my skin rather than actually blended and looking really beautiful and seamless. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. I have a lot of LA Girl bronzers here anyways, so this one gotta go. Another Essence bronzer I love, if you're into the really big compacts, the Sun Club matte bronzing powder is incredible. Super silky too. This color is a little bit on the lighter side for me, but again, that's why I like it, because it's more buildable. Whenever I do an all powdered look, I really like the way this looks on the skin. Super smooth. Then we have the Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer from Say. This one is in the shade Light Bronze. I actually do really like this. I feel like there are a lot of dupes for products like this in my opinion, but this is a nice product. I'm going to keep it because I like the color of it. I'm going to show you a dupe though right now. That's amazing. The Soul Face and Body Bronzing Balm. This one is incredible. It's not identical, but it gives you that similar effect if you're into these kind of bronzers. I love this packaging and everything about it too. It smells nice too. Yeah, it smells very like summery. Love this. So this I'm keeping. And then we have an Anastasia cream bronzer in the shade Amber. This is another one where I feel like it can be duped, honestly. I'm gonna get rid of this one because I don't need both of these, this one and the one from Say, but this is great as well. Again, with the packaging, it's nice because you can fit your brush in here seamlessly. Sometimes it can pull a little orangey on my skin though, the shade Amber. Plus I have the cream contour, which I'm gonna keep. So I do like this Anastasia cream bronzer. Again, I do think there's dupes for it. The Soul Face and Body gives pretty much the same effect, but I do like this one, but I'm gonna get rid of it because we're gonna keep the Say high-end one and I don't need this one as well. We have another Soft Sculpt Skin Enhancer from Makeup by Mario. This one is in the shade Light Medium, which I am gonna get rid of because I kept the medium one, so we don't need this too. This is actually very light on my skin. I recommend this if you are lighter in tone than me, more fair skin. I think you would love this shade. Then we have the Milani Cheek Kiss Cream Bronzer. I love both of these. On the left, we have the shade 110, and then on the right is 120. Both of these are fabulous, great color payoff. It's a little bit also more buildable, but I really like these. Super comparable to high end. And I'm gonna keep both of these because I do use these very often. Then we have the Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer, and it is just that. It's ultra creamy, almost to the point where it's too creamy, and that's why I'm gonna get rid of it. And I love it, but at the same time, I don't like it for that reason because the formula it's too much. I love the color of this though, but when you're actually working with it, it's just almost too melty on the skin. So you almost have to make it work a little bit too much. And I have other drugstore favorites. It's good, but it could be better. And these are the bronzers we kept. Next section, we're almost done. We don't have much in here, so let's go through these. Okay, starting off strong, this Kosas bronzer. Let me just start off by saying I love Kosas, okay? They have great products, but this bronzer, I do love it. It's in the shade Beachy, the Sun Show bronzer. The smell. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've smelled, but it just smells like something that has been sitting in a pantry for way too long. And apparently that is a thing with the clean beauty brands, because I guess because they are clean, the shelf life is gonna be less versus other non-clean brands. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful of that when you're shopping for these products, because they will go bad and then they have a smell and it's just not very pleasant. You know, like it's not something that I honestly want to keep for that reason, because you smell it as you're applying it on your face. And if you're like me and you're a little bit more sensitive to smells, this is just not it. It's a gorgeous bronzer though. Like I love the color of it. I love the formula. It's beautiful. I truly love this baked formula because it's not glittery. It's so seamless on the skin, and this color is literally perfection. It looks like a vacation on the skin, but I can't get past the smell, so I gotta go. Love the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer Compact as well. This one I have in Macchiato 03. I actually do really like this. It's a little bit more of a cool toned cream bronzer. I really love Fenty complexion products. I think they just do it right. I actually have to pull this out again because it's been a minute. It's almost like a more of a, this has a little bit, okay, ew, there's like my hair on here. Let's clean off the layer of this because it's been a little minute since I've used this. There we go. Now it's like brand new. But how gorgeous is this color though? I like this because it's actually, compared to a lot of my cream bronzers, this one does have a little bit more, again, of that cool tone in there, which I just think really flatters my skin tone. If you want to splurge on a high-end bronzer, I actually think Fenty is the way to go. Cream bronzer and then the powder bronzer over top is a really nice combo. I think you just can't go wrong with the formula. They are really good. So this I'm gonna go ahead and keep. I love this color in Macchiato. I feel like I have a lot of luck with the shades when it comes to Fenty. Makeup by Mario. I love these soft sculpt shaping sticks, but I don't like the packaging. So I think I'm gonna just officially part ways with these because since I kept his powder bronzer and the skin enhancer, I think we're good. I don't think that I want these, again, for the reason, this packaging. I don't like this brush. You might like it though. Some people do like it. I'm just not personally a fan. So this is the color medium, which is really nice. It's similar to the skin enhancer and his powder bronzers, which is nice, but I just don't love the packaging, to be honest. And I know it's not really a huge deal because the product itself is good, but it works. I mean, you can definitely get the job done with the brush, but I would rather have maybe another product or more product, no brush than that. But that's what it looks like. We're getting rid of her though. I don't need it. This is the shade light medium. They're cute, but they gotta go. Then we have the Rare Beauty bronzer sticks. These are two shades. I have Happy Soul and Power Boost. Yeah, they're a little bit too light. I love this bronzer stick though. It's just really, really good. Oh, is this a good color for me? Happy Soul. This is a good color. A nice warm tone. We're gonna keep Happy Soul, and then I'm gonna get rid of the shade Power Boost. And then we have this Hourglass palette. I love Hourglass lighting palettes. This is the Ambient Lighting Volume 2. We have Soft Light, Radiant Light, Golden Bronze Light. These are basically like finishing powder bronzer situations. With Hourglass, you're gonna get the most beautiful glow from within. Their powders are immaculate. Honestly, another good splurge-worthy product. This is a nice kind of finishing powder bronzer that you could apply over top once your makeup is all done, just to smooth out any lines, make everything look glowy, but in the most natural way. And I just love Hourglass face products too. Like their powders are next level. So this I'm gonna keep. I actually want to use this more. And now that I have all this cleaned out, I am gonna use it more. And there we go. That's what we have left. Love it. Last little section. This is what we have left. Then we have a little mini sculpting stick from Milk Makeup. This also has that very just old smell, because I haven't used it in a while. It's probably expired at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. This is a nice color though. It's in Stoked. This is gonna be a true contour, so you can see it has a true kind of gray undertone. Not bronzed at all. This is gonna give you more shadows. It's gonna sculpt you. But yeah, the smell, I think this went bad. So we're gonna get rid of her. I have a couple of these CoverGirl True Blend Skin Enhancer Contour Bombs. If you guys have been watching any of my videos and you know how much I love these, they are perfect for contouring, so easy to blend. I love the color Sculpted. This is my perfect shade. I'm gonna keep this because the color is perfect. Again, it's in Sculpted. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the other bombs that I have here. The darker one is in Snatched. They have one color actually that's darker than this one, but this one is in Snatched. It's much more rich in tone. And then we have the color Defined, which is a true cool toned. So if you have fair skin, you're gonna like this shade, but let's get rid of those. This is a bronzer stick that is very underrated. It's from Metamorphosis, which is an indie brand, Latina owned, and she has such great products, you guys. But this is actually the website, metamorphosisbf.com. 10 out of 10 recommend. Her bronzer sticks are incredible. I have two shades here. I think I'm gonna keep this MB14. This is another more cool toned contour stick. So blendable though. The tone of this is perfect. I feel like it's hard to find colors like this nowadays because a lot of them do tend to run very golden, very orangey or olive, you know? So if you're into this kind of more cool, deep tone of like, it has a touch of gray in there, but it doesn't pull ashy on the skin, MB14 is fantastic. So I really like this bronzer stick formula. It's just classic for me. It works really well. And then MB15 has a little bit more of that golden touch in there. Very rich though, very pigmented, but it's like the perfect amount of pigment. So I'm gonna keep MB14 and we're gonna get rid of MB15. You can kind of see that golden undertone right there. So yeah, let's get rid of one and keep the other. Another high-end bronzer that I do like, but I do actually really like this cream bronzer. It's in the shade Getty. I like the tone of it. That's why I'm gonna keep it because it is more warm, but I think the tone is pretty. I like this. I'm gonna keep. And then we have the Physicians Formula Butter Glow and Go. Love this product. I just need to get a different and better shade because the bronzer, it pulls very golden on my skin. It's just not flattering at all when I blend it out. It just looks very orangey and it's just not good. But this formula is fantastic. It is very blendable. There's a lot of pigment with these though, so just be mindful. I would not recommend applying this product directly onto your skin. I recommend applying it to your brush first and then applying it to your skin. The blush is the most perfect raspberry tone though. By the way, this one is in Berry Tan, and it is just that. It is a true berry tan combo. The blush is really pretty. I love it on the cheeks and the lips, but I want to get a different shade of this because it's such a good product, but I want to use both of them. Love it though. Physicians Formula, they always have good bronzers. Another really nice high-end bronzer that I do think is worth a splurge is the Rem Beauty bronzer. This one I have in Out of Office, and it is a true satin matte formula. So it doesn't look too powdery when you're applying it. Like, it gives some good dimension and warmth. Really like this formula. I like her blushes too. I think these are good, so good splurge worthy if you want a high-end bronzer. I like it. And then we have a few drugstore bronzers that I think are also great. ColourPop matte bronzer is a good one. It's gonna give you that soft matte, very natural look, honestly. This one is pretty orangey though. It's in Summerland Beach. Yeah, it is actually really orange on me. I'm gonna get rid of this color, but this is a good formula. I feel like I would just need a different shade, you know, if I wanted to get this again, but I love it. I just don't like the color on my skin tone. Then we have the NYX Butter Melt Bronzer. I love the blushes, but the bronzers, I almost wish that they had a different kind of undertone. They're very golden, very red toned. So not my personal favorite. This one is in Butter Biscuit just because of the tones, but the formula of these is really, really pretty. Like, it's very just smooth. Similar to the blushes, they just have like a nice, oh, look at that glow. That is so pretty. They have a really nice high-end looking formula where it's gonna give you a glow, it's gonna give you a pigment, it's gonna give you some pigment, but it's not gonna be glittery, and it does go on really smooth on the skin. Similar to the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula, but a little bit less shimmery. This one has more of a sheen to it than anything. It's like I almost wanna try it again before completely getting rid of it, but it's just that undertone. I wish they had more shades with like a little bit better undertones, but let me try it again before completely ruling it out because I love the formula, you know? I really do. We have the Pretty Smart Bronzing Powder. This one is in the shade Hermosa 2050, talc free. Again, if you loved the Balm Cosmetics, you're going to love this brand, Pretty Smart. Now that I look at it, like, obviously the packaging is different, but the formulas of these are very, very similar. They're gonna give you just a really smooth golden glow, buildable pigment. Both of these have a bit of a satin kind of formula too, which I really like. I need to use this bronzer more actually. This formula is incredibly smooth. You see, these are the kind of tones that I really like. There's a touch of golden olive in there, but you see how it almost bronzes my skin and enhances it without making it look Oompa Loompa orange. So I gotta use this up in another drugstore tutorial. So if you like more of a satiny kind of bronzer, you're gonna love this. It's not fully matte, gives a light glow, but it's very natural. So love this, we're keeping. So this is the goodbye pile. These are gonna be donated. Some of these are gonna be thrown out, the ones that smell really bad, but most of these are gonna go and get donated. But we did really good. I feel like I got rid of about half and kept half. And before you leave, make sure to let me know your favorite bronzers in the comments. And stay tuned for my next declutter. I think I want to do face palettes because it is overflowing, girl. So we got to go through those. And then highlighters, blushes, the list goes on. We have long ways to go. So if you enjoy the declutters, definitely stick around and subscribe. And I cannot wait to see you very soon in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.